What's up, everybody? Oh boy. Alright, welcome back, everybody. Hope you're doing alright. Today we're going to be jumping back in and doing some programming. Hey, Mahan, how's it going? Welcome in. Welcome in, welcome in. We're going to be building more of our site today. Should be a fun one. I'm feeling a little bit sluggish today, I'm not going to lie. My brain's a little bit foggy. So I'll try my best here to okay, we'll let the script run in the background for today's update. Cemetery Sun. This guy is winning a lot lately. Alright, you guys. So today's plan. So yesterday was a fun one. We did a lot yesterday. We're almost up to 5.1K, which is crazy. These seem to people seem to be really liking these full stack streams, so I'm gonna keep doing them. Kind of play into what people like. I do want to continue on with our C learning, but I'm having fun building this project, and I'm learning a lot about production and production code and different types of things needed for security and different Docker and all these different packages and all that kind of stuff. So feels good on that front. But anywho, we are going to implement the forgot password page today, I think is our plan. Yesterday we did the actual, so if I go to log in here, we have forgot password here, and you can actually send yourself a forgot password token into the database, and that'll expire after 1 hour. And then you can take that token. Now we need to, you know, when you hit that send reset link, we need this to take us to a page for the token, right? And then it'll allow you to reset your password from there if the token is correct. Something like that, right? Okay, so this should be a fun one. Let's first fire up our boy, our helper here. Hello, I am back today, ready to keep going on Polyworld. We are going to try to implement the actual um, password reset page like we left off on yesterday, which will take in a user token, a password reset token, and a new password, and submit that, probably a new password and like a new password confirmation field as well to make sure that those are the same. And then that will send to the database to override the user's password, and then it'll just redirect them to the ability to sign in from there. Anywho, once we get that working, I think I want to then try to shift focus and write the backend logic within our Polyworld kind of engine here for the single search for a better and then the custom parameters, right? So we would just need a function on our back end, right, that would take in, that would just, we already kind of have it already built, such as the build user, build users, right? But we just need to tweak those to not save to the leaderboards, but rather save to um, a snapshots table for custom generated snapshots, right? The leaderboard table is separate, so this would be a table for snapshots created by paid users, and it would have a secondary key, right, or a foreign key that would be tied to the user that did that search for that snapshot. Um, I'm assuming. And yeah, anywho, that's kind of my plan for today. Let's go ahead and get started outlining kind of our basic structure for where we need to go and move forward through our code base and our project. And again, I'm going to be writing the code, giving you my snippets to give me for bug fixes and alterations, improvements, but mainly be a teacher, not a doer. Okay, here we go. Boy, welcome back. Okay, good plan. Clean priorities for today. Part 1, reset password page, finish what we started. Okay, let's get into it today. So for our pages, we're going to do a reset password page, reset password.jsx, KSX, JSXFM, 290 the buzz. What do you like some like cringy radio show? What's that show? Oh, Parks and Rec. It's like the douche. That show is so funny. That radio show that's on that it's on Parks and Rec when they do that. That's hilarious. Okay, so this is going to have a very similar approach to our forgot password page. So I'm just gonna kind of rip it, honestly, right here. So we're gonna need, this is gonna be reset password, right? Which is gonna have not an email, but it's gonna have a password, set password, right? It's gonna have another one of these for password conf. Set password conf. A message, error, and loading, that's fine. So this handle will be for the submit of the actual options here. So handle, reset, password, submit. We set error loading, cool. We're gonna have a this is going to be a call to our API, not for check email, but for given an email, right? So this is going to check for a valid email. This is going to check token, or check reset token, right? Given a token here. And we also are going to have a variable of a token, correct, right? So this is going to be a reset token, and then set reset token here. So next, what we're going to do, so we take in a token. If data given back, So what would this give back? It would give back, honestly, it wouldn't give you back like the user. We don't need the user's data here. We just need a Boolean, like true or not, that this reset token is valid, right? So we also need to say, so if data and message, we set message is a successful reset. Okay, that's fine. But we need to also do like probably a statement here that says if password not equal to password confirmation, this catches an error. So maybe, do we have our front end handle the password? Okay, let's kind of break this down into the individual steps here. I started building the reset password page that mainly builds off of a similar framework as our forgot password page, except I am going to have a password variable use state and a password confirmation variable use state. Now my question is do I send those to the backend to do the validation, or do I validate the equality across those two data fields on the front end within the handler for the password submit reset? So I would, try to call check reset token, which would pass me back a Boolean probably for, okay, that's true, that, because we don't need any data from the backend other than that is a true, that's the valid reset token for this specific link that was given, or, yada, yada, yada. So that's my kind of question here. Oh, what happened? Good question. The answer is both, but in the right places. Validate password equality on the front end. This is pure UI logic. If you're just checking if two strings match, you need to send that to the front end. Oh, you don't no need to send it to the back end. Do it in your submit handler before making any API call. Okay, that's so before making any API call, then we will just put our if password here, and it looks like it has to be with JavaScript, not is equal to, like in like this kind of format. Um, and then we will call the set error handle, use state to set the error to passwords password fields do not match, right? Okay, that's fine. So fast, no network round trip, immediate feedback to the user. So you validate the token on the back end. The token checks absolutely must happen on the server side. Okay, so now we need to write, before we kind of move on, I'm going to try to attempt to write this on my own here. So check reset token, which is going to be um, replaced by here. And then we need to go to this and write this function here. So we're going to export async function. Ooh. Check reset token given a token, right? So what this is going to entail is a fetch to the database for the token validation logic, right? Um, so we're going, or yeah, so we're going to do const the result is not the result is equal to await, because this is async. We're gonna await the fetch result of the you gotta do this. JavaScript's really annoying. Base URL. We're gonna go to our auth slash reset password, and then we need to give it a payload or some payload or data to send, or some credentials, right? What is the actual what is the actual init request init? So it's like the request. It's like the type of like more details about the request is, I'm guessing, is what the specific field is. So the credentials, I guess we include the method. We're asking for now. Why would these be posts if we're just getting data? You know what I mean? Hey, Kevin, how's it going? That's a good idea, Mahan. It can't be the previous hash. Okay, so we got, there's just a lot of layers, right? So it gets really easy to like, which layer am I in? Where does which validation goes in which layer? So I'm just trying to make sure I understand where things are going here. So my question is post though is, so let's ask that. Why is my JavaScript, fetch functions for check email and check reset token using a post method when I'm just getting data from my database, not actually changing anything? Am I? Great question. This is a common point of confusion. The HTTP method isn't just about whether you're reading or writing data, it's about what you're sending and why. The real distinction, the GET is requesting a resource that's identified entirely by the URL. Mm. Everything needed is in the URL. Post, sending data in the request body to trigger an action on the server. The data isn't appropriate for a URL. So we don't want to put the password in a URL. Why your forgot password should be a post even though nothing is saved yet. You're sending an email address in the request body. Putting that URL would look like this. That's bad for two reasons, right? Emails in URLs get logged into server logs, browser histories, access logs, and privacy leaks, right? Get request should be safe and idempotent. Idempotent. What word is that? I've never even heard that before. English, right? Okay, that would make sense, right? Right, we don't, I didn't realize that GET requests, everything is found within the URL. And so when I'm getting, leaderboard stuff, it's just pulling all of the data out of my URL, passing that into my SQL parameter, my SQL string, and then getting me that data. Whereas with these ones, we don't want to send these with get because we don't want the, password, the actual password to be in the, browser and whatnot. Okay, that makes perfect sense. Glad we took that detour. So headers, I'm just going to copy what we have before, which is content dash type quote application slash JSON. And then we have body JSON dot stringify the data. Okay, so we're not passing in data though, we're passing in a token. Is it appropriate to hash reset tokens? I don't know. Well, they expire, but if someone gets access to your reset token, then they could just reset your password and take it over. We should ask that. Is it appropriate to be hashing reset tokens? Couldn't someone technically? I guess we're using HTTPS, right? So it's secure, but could someone intercept the reset token and change the password intermediately? Good security thinking. Let me break this down to be honest. Why? With HTTPS, the token in transit is safe. HTTPS encrypts everything in the request, headers, body, URL parameters. A man-in-the-middle attack can't intercept the token while it's traveling between the browser and the server, so no, someone can't intercept it in transit. The real threat of reset tokens are different. For data breaches, someone dumps your database and then sees plain text tokens. They can use unexpired tokens to reset any account. This is the main reason to hash tokens. Log exposure. If the token appears in server logs as URL parameter, it could be extracted from logs. This is why reset tokens should be put the token in the URL path or query string carefully, and your log should not capture request bodies. Timing attacks, less relevant at your scale but worth knowing. Should you hash reset tokens? Technically, yes. It's best practice for the same reason you would hash passwords. If your database is compromised, hash tokens are useless to an attacker because they expire anyway and can't be reversed. But here's the honest reality for where you are. Reset tokens expire in 1 hour in a single use. The window of exploitation, even with plain text tokens in the database, is very small. Hashing adds complexity. Store the hash, send plain text in the email, then hash on comparison. Okay, so you would generate the token, send it via email, and then hash it and store it. Now the user has the total token. I never even know what the token was in my database. My database never even knows the real token. The user has the real token for 1 hour in their email. They reset their password. They provide a new password. And they give the token and the new password. Both, right, are hashed. Hash password is overwritten on the old hash password. And the hash tokens are compared for equality. I feel like it wouldn't be that hard to implement. But so we'll just keep that on the back burner and implement that maybe in a later day this week, maybe this weekend. We'll just add a quick little implement our hashing to our tokens as well and intercept them before we do the email portion. Right, in our API here, auth, here. So you would take the token, you would hash it, and then insert the hashed token here, but you would send the real token here. Okay, That would make sense. Um, the same request should return the same result. I think that's what idempotent means. Oh, you got it. That out. Yeah, the same function called multiple times must return the same output. We have AI, but we're using to learn about stuff. Like you can see, it's not giving us code. We're talking through our problems. It's not letting me scroll up for some reason. I'm not sure what's going on. The desktop app is a pretty buggy though, I will say. Hey Azur, thanks for coming in. Thanks for the sub. I appreciate you so much for following along. Yeah, we just crossed over 5K, which is really awesome. Super happy to have crossed 5K with you guys. And we're building Polyworld right now, which is a pretty cool project. We're implementing our reset password page um, after we kind of got done doing our forgot password page. Okay, so let's keep on rolling here. So where were we though? We were here doing this part, and we need to close this overall function here. Hey, thanks so much. Appreciate the sub. Thank you so much for following along. Yeah, my name is Michael. 27 years old. I got a degree in biology and chemistry. I work in a molecular biology lab right now. Um, I've been teaching myself how to code though for about a year and a half, trying to get better, maybe to potentially become a dev one day and build cool products. I like to build my own products or my own stuff though right now for fun and learn. So thanks for joining me. We started from the ground up, filming everything here live on the channel. I've done about 95% plus of my learning live on the channel, so everything's here. Okay, so next what we're gonna do is let's just go build really quickly the reset. Oh, we don't have that page yet. Hold on. So let's just stay focused here. So we have our fetch. I'm gonna kind of copy my this portion here. So it's just gonna be the same. All right. And so now we're going to call check reset token, calling our auth reset password. So in our auth right here, now we're going to have a route called at router.post to receive this post and continue it, or call this post and send it forward to our backend. So we're going to call this, oh, we already have a reset password. I wrote this yesterday. When did I write this? I wrote this yesterday. I don't even remember. Well, I do remember, but I thought I hadn't wrote it yet. Okay. Um, let's go. I guess I'm a better dev than I thought. We already wrote this. Okay, yeah, so I'll just go over this really quickly. We did this yesterday, right? You just pull the DB out of the app state here using the Pydantic request, right? That the app is kind of under. You have some exceptions here, just to clear out. So if the token is none, which we're getting out of so we get reset token given data.reset.token. Yeah, so this will get a token given the user's token. We pull that out of the database. If there is a token, we move forward, right? Meaning that we have a valid token in our database. It found one, so it matched to one. If it's expired, we cancel out. If it's used, we cancel out. We hash the password that the user gave us. We update the user password and we reset the token marked to used, and it'll automatically expire after an hour anyways. And then they'll send a message. I forgot I completely wrote that. Okay. So that makes it easy on us. So that calls reset password and returns back that message that if it was successful or not. So I think what we can do is go to, we need to simulate this really quick. So should we, let's see if we can write a test. Let's see if we're good enough to write a test. Let's try to test ourselves by writing a test. So we have test auth here. So this is test. Now we're going to do reset, password resets test. Auth slash reset password tests. Okay, let's do def test user reset password given the client that we're working with, this kind of test client. So it's going to have a similar kind of makeup where we have a response that is received via the client posting. So we need to post to the client and register a user. So we need to make sure user is registered. So we can copy this. So that'll create a user. We probably need to go back through and write a singular function just for creating a user rather than duplicating it throughout all of this. We assert that we get 200 by creating the user here. We then we need to forget the password, right? So we create user. This doesn't log us in. Yeah, this just creates the user, right? We haven't done a login. So now we just need to hit our forgot user. So we'll have response is equal to client.post, and we'll do, I'll just we'll copy this. We don't need to be typing so much, killing our fingers. So we're going to do forgot password for an email, and that should give us an email. We're going to assert that response.status code is equal to 200, and we're also going to assert that the response.JSON function .get from that JSON object that's now we're going to get the message out of there, and this message should be the message that our auth sends back to here. If that email exists, you receive a link, and we'll say to reset your password, receive a reset token and a link to reset your password. So we'll copy this message into this assertion. Ooh, not there. Right? And then what we're going to do, hold up, let me check chat real quick. I need to get better at reading chat. Sorry guys, I'm not a real streamer out here. I get lost up into coding. Um, this is the correct way to use AI, man. Hey, Jimmy Loves, appreciate you coming in. Write some to-do comments. That's what the AI is for. Give me a to-do already. I already talked through my to-do and it polished it up. Polyworld doesn't even count as a corpo AI. I'm talking about these corpo coding agents. I hate these. Um, the vibe coders, the prompt engineers. Are we cooked? Hey, Cram, how's it going? What's the purpose of the project? Yeah, I'll show you. So really quickly, Polywhirl, it's a daily cycle. So this cron job finished up already. I need to actually make this a cron job, but for the first part of the project, I'm pretty decent at Python. That's the only kind of language. That's the really primary language, not only the primary language that I write in. And I don't need too much help with it. I need a little bit when I forget some stuff, but um, obviously I'm not that great. But that's the main language we've been using. Oh my god, sorry. I don't like kind of talking about myself, but that's the main language we've been using. And anyway, so the first part of the project, we built a Polyworld kind of engine, I guess, that gets users for us that will from the Polymarket APIs. We kind of scrape the entire leaderboards, all categories, and gather them into a set. We sweep them for their positions across a number of days, and then we compute statistics for each trader, which is pretty cool. As you can see, the Cemetery Sun has been on the leaderboard now for 4 days. For 4 sweeps, he's been caught up. This isn't concurrent. I'm going to add a feature and a field in our database for concurrency, for how many times they've been like a streak on the leaderboard. But this is just how many times they've been picked up. And so they've been picked up 4 times here. He's the only guy that's been picked up. Oh no, there's been a couple others that have been picked up 4 days in a row now. Not 4 days, but on 4 sweeps. Sorry, but I've only done 4 sweeps, so um, you know I reset my database quite often here just for production reasons. But um, my goal is to make it go on at like 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. every day through a cron job, and have it just run automatically for us. And so the thing is you can get a pretty nice idea about what traders are. Are they bots? Are they real people? Are they one-hit wonders? Via these statistics. So let me show you. Like if you go to appearances for someone that is like 3 appearances with like let's do win rate. We don't want these 100% win rates because these might be. Oh, it looks like we might have a little bit of a bug going on. Um, hmm. It's not updating appropriately anymore. Something's going on. Now it's working. Maybe it was just something weird. I don't know. Maybe we do have a bug. Probably do. We have to go through and find and fix stuff and do testing. Um, so we'll do like win rate. Oh, it's my requests. I'm sending too many requests. That's why. Let's go to our here. Oh, not decimals. Ah. Let's restart our client here. So win rate. Let's not do one of these 100%ers because they're probably just one-hit wonders. Let's kind of come down to someone that's like in the 70s. And maybe that's been on 3 sweeps. So like this guy here. So he's got some positions cooking right now. Not a lot of loss, not a lot of gain, right? Or he has some gain offsetting his underwater loss here. And he's realized, pretty nice amount compared. He's got a nice win rate. What's his actual prediction accuracy? 50% on prediction accuracy, which is actually pretty impressive considering not a lot of people actually are using good at reading the crystal ball. They just get in and out and play volatility. So he might be actually playing predictions which is pretty kind of cool. I've actually not seen many of these people. Um, and then you have like obviously a computed edge. So if someone doesn't have a computed edge, it's because they maybe haven't lost, and you don't really know how they're statistically winning, what their strategy might be. So you might want to wait for them to get a loss or something, and things like that. But yeah, this is our project that we've been building over the past like 2 months, month and a half, 2 months now. Um, yeah, so let me know what you guys think. We're doing user authentication right now and password stuff, reset password, and then we need to do the better search, right? The better search will be the paid feature, I think, right? The leaderboard will be free for anybody to access, but the better search will be for paid members where they can search up any address for X amount of days in the past and get that snapshot for them rather than just a leaderboard. And then maybe add a watch list and sweep those. Well, that watch list will be the next feature for paid members. So yeah, that'd be kind of cool. That's what I'm going for. um, Let me catch up on some chats. Sorry, that was the purpose of the project, Jimmy. So hopefully that answered the question. Hey, Mala, how's it going? I just answered your question, Mala. What's going on? You guys like the project so far? Okay, I think people like it. Okay, where were we? We were on. Um, so we sent reset password here to, and we reset password. We were writing our test. Okay, so we assert that the message comes through. Let's go ahead and shut down our backend really quick. Backend shutting down. And then let's go ahead and open up a PSQL command, and let's do select all from users. Oh, users. Okay, so there's that user, that test user that we have in there. Oh, and so what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop users, or we'll say select all from user or from reset tokens. Oh no, not drop all. We want to select all. Okay, so we do have a reset token still in there from our last time. So we're going to drop table. Well, I don't want to drop the table. How do you just clear the table? I forgot that command. Anybody know? Before I look it up. I don't want to delete the table. I just want to delete all the content. Is it just delete? Truncate? Delete from? A lot of people. I don't want to screw this one up. Hold on. Let's just verify. Let's be safe. Delete all rows from a school table. Truncate table name. And restart IDs. Okay. my password reset tokens as my table? I thought it was just called reset tokens. It is just reset tokens. Select all from password reset tokens. Oh, I didn't drop that table, but when we renamed it. Nice. Okay, that's my bad. Now we'll truncate table users and reset tokens. And then now we can run this authentication here. So let's open up a Python. We're going to do PyTest, tests, test auth .py. Okay, we all passed. Okay, good. So that's okay. I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna say test forgot password. I'm gonna try to look up how to condense these a little bit better, right? Rather than having to reuse so much, because right now we're deleting the email. And then cursor.execute, what was it called? Truncate table truncate table reset tokens. Yeah, so we'll add that on the cleanup. So now we want to, so this will assert that message is good. We're then going to, right, we need to get the we need to get the token. So we have app here. We do have our app. What you see in yield the client. Okay, so our client is the app itself. So I think we can say client dot app.state.db. Can we get access and make a query to our database here? I don't think I did that. No, we don't want to do that. We want to just, we don't want to do that. We want to just send the data. So now he's trying to reset his password, right? So we sent the token. The token is saved in our database. Now to simulate this, we need to pull the token out of the database or write the token here, right? and simulate being the user. We don't know what token was created though. Um, uh, Test user reset password. That's the thing. I'm going to take these two functions for our testing. I'm going to paste them in. I'm going to say, I want some feedback on my tests. I'm trying to figure out how I can simulate the resetting of a password. If I'm the user, I would need to know the password via my email, so I could hard code it in here, but I don't have anything that's returning me the password in this post or anything. I or I could call it from the database, but I don't really think I want to have access to the database directly inside of the test, because that's not really what the test purpose is for. It's kind of simulating real activity, right? Or I'm not sure. What do you think? Let's get caught up on chats here while we're here. You're thinking in the right direction, but mixing two different testing philosophies, and that's what makes this feel awkward. Right now, your instinct is, I shouldn't be touching the database. I should act like the real user. That's partially true, but if you take that too literally, you'll cripple your ability to test anything meaningfully. Let's straighten this out. The core issue is, in a real flow, the user hits forgot password, the backend generates a reset token, and the token is stored in the database plus emailed. The user clicks the link, sends token to reset password. And the backend verifies the token. The token is the key, not the password. You're stuck because I don't have access to the token. Exactly. So your test is incomplete right now. The mistake you're about to make is hard code a token. This is bad testing because it bypasses your real logic. What you do instead is you have two solid options depending on how real you want this test to be. As option one, expose the token in test mode. Okay, so you can send the token along in the JSON response in test mode. This is clean because, right, option two is capture the email. More realistically, slightly heavier. If you're sending emails via function, oh, just fake it. Oh, okay, just fake the email basically. Right. Don't query the database. Okay. What do you think we should do for this you guys think? I use Fast API for the backend here. Actually, hey, Chow, what's going on? Haley's waiting for me in Stardew Valley. That's funny. Okay. I think that's fine. I'm just going to. We'll just leave it at test forgot password here. Uh, Forgot. Thanks so much for the sub. I appreciate you so much for joining me here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay. That's fine. So I think that's what we wanted to do, right? Is there anything else that we needed to accomplish? Well, we're doing reset password. So we have the reset password page. Okay, so now let's go to reset password. All right, we're here. it would take you to a reset password page. Let's go to our app. Bring in, forgot password. This is going to be reset password. Reset password here. And then let's add in that here. There, okay. So now we have reset password here. It's probably just, yeah, set email is going to be set password. What is the issue here? Handle email submit not defined. There we go. Email is not defined. Password. Okay. We're here in reset password. So this will say reset password. Enter a valid, we'll just say enter your reset token and a new password. Okay, so on our card here, form handle reset for the email, this is going to be password. Okay, which is this div here. This is going to say password. There's a new password. Label input type for that div. So here, which is going to be confirm password. This is going to be password conf here. Set password conf here. Type password. We want to probably go to let's go to the login page and rip the password from here because we want the logic for the hide button that's in here. So it would be this guy is ripped. And then we would need the set show password function, which we should probably just write out in our own handler rather than having be in. So maybe we'll take a file here, we'll say hooks. We'll add this just into our root source. Let's go to our login. Let's grab our hook for where is it? No. Set show password. what's going on. Yeah, social password. Oh yeah, that's right. It's not a hook. I'm dumb. It's just a. It's just a state variable for show password. And this is set show password. Right, and so now we have set show password here. And if it's hide or show, it'll show. So now we can take our password right. Get rid of this one. Take this, duplicate it. Confirm password here. Why don't we have voice channel in the Discord? Not many people really use the Discord as like a place to talk and hang out. Maybe it's because I don't have the. I do have a voice channel in there, but no one really has ever popped in there. I don't really go in there. I'll be honest with you guys. Like in terms of like social like interaction, I'm very communicative at work. I can very fluently communicate, but I'm not much of a talker in terms of like conversation, like one on like in like two-way conversation or group conversation. A lot of people know me at work as fairly quiet, but when I'm alone, I can just talk out loud my thoughts, and it's pretty easy here. But so it might be kind of a little bit of a different dynamic. It's just kind of like my shtick, I guess. um, I wish I was a little bit more like you know communicative in like a social group live setting, but streaming is pretty different. It's just me pretty much with some text on the screen. um, okay, so this is password here. This is going to be confirm your password. This is going to be password conf. Now we're going to have to need to have set show password and set so password comp. I have two different values here. Right? And the show password conf is going to have to apply to the confirmation password. Because we need that variable to be unique to that specific one. Right. So on click, this will navigate okay. Now do we want to navigate to slash, maybe we just like on click you prevent reload, you just display a message. Oh, we don't need this here, right? Forgot password, reset password. those go away. Okay. And then this button would say, um, resetting password. And then say reset password. I guess on click for this button, it'll submit the form, right? And the form does this handle here. We make sure the passwords equal one another. We if passwords well, we probably should check if they're the same, if they are greater than a certain length as well here too. Our Pydantic will validate that, but we should probably handle that here too. Um, hey Tim, 6K subs, Michael, let us call into the show. Why the transition from biology? Um, I just like programming. I like building. Biology is pretty slow. You don't really see a lot of your work in real time. It's a lot. It's microscopic. You have to go to and get like a lot of credentials and to go through a lot of red tape and state certifications and things to really get any higher paying jobs. Unless you want to just be like a people manager or like a paper pusher. Um, it's a lot of work for not that much pay and then all of the the central hubs for um, biology are in tech based hubs as well, so you get beat out by all of the software engineers in terms of like cost of living, so you just get screwed that way. So it's just like dang. But it's mainly about the coding. I just like to code, honestly. I've always liked math and science and building things, but but math and science has never really been allowed me to be creative like I like to. Like I like music and art, and so this kind of was a very happy medium of tying it all together. You can create music and art with science and programming. Like it's very much ties everything that kind of like doing all together. Do you work with Express for backend? No, I do everything in Python for the backend pretty much. That's the only backend stuff I know. But we got backend. What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me here. We got 5.1. Wow, dude. 100 subs in one day? That's crazy. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Um, and here, reset token and a new password. So reset, confirm. Oh, so these are linked still. Okay, hold up. So the show password conf here. It's a use state that's a Boolean. Nice. Nice. Okay. Um, Name all the equations. Okay, coding Jesus. Chad's coding Jesus. Name every math equation known to man. Or you don't know math. Honestly, it's kind of crazy, when you stop, using math on like a daily basis in school, like a class, every day, how much like you forget in terms of those small little math rules, like exponent rules or um, FOIL, or like those little tricks and things in math that you don't really you forget pretty quick if you don't use them. Like the main sources of math I use in my job are conversions, unit conversions, and just basic algebra. um, okay, where are we at now? I think that this looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and get some feedback, I think, on it. And yeah, let's get some feedback on our page here. We've put in a lot of good work here and we're kind of stalling. So we need to keep moving. Okay, I put this together. Let me know what you think. I'll also give it my client JS for check reset token. My dog's trying to get in. Let me in! Papa, let me in! And then I'll also give it my auth for reset passwords and stuff. Let's see here. What does it think of all of our hard work here put together? Come on, don't be too brutal. Good work overall. Let me go through each piece. Reset password JSX has two bugs. Const data equals await check reset token of token. Here. Token is undefined here. You have reset token, a state variable. Oh, yeah. But if you're not using it, this should be, we pass in a token, which defaults to check to the reset token. A password. Yeah, this also takes a password. Is right, because check reset token it just calls this. Let's just do data. Reset token, password. Oh, this is not Python. This is JavaScript. My bad. Crap. I thought we're in the wrong function here. So this just takes in a token, then probably a password. and stringifies the token and password in the body of the request. Now the auth has the data here, gets the token out from data here, and so yeah, we do need the token out of this. Okay, that's right. So our final thing will be in our reset password. Yeah, reset token defaulted and password passed in here too, to the check reset token function parameter. Also, the password mismatch needs a return to stop execution. Okay, that's right. So if this set error, then we will return here. So I forgot password endpoint. Here, no. Here. Looks good. So we have a blank detail. Do. Oh, here, reset password. On the invalid reset token. That's fine. So in reset token, two things. The detail on the first check, give this a meaningful message, and then reset token quote of used. Here, user ID, okay, what we should say. Reset token quote used equals to true. Oh yeah, it just wanted me to simplify this. I'm being dumb. One missing piece in the flow. After a successful login, password reset, you should also navigate users to login on the front end. Right now, message gets sent, but the user sees the message with no redirection. So on handle submit here, I'm gonna say, how do you, can we like, so we can just use the navigation. Where is that? Wait, what's going on here? Why am I struggling here? Oh yeah, it's const navigate, use navigate, okay. Right, and then on the form submission called navigate, to log in. Now the thing is I would like to set message to that. Can we add, concatenate a string onto this and say \n and say page will redirect to login, something like this. Now, if you navigate, now can we set like a small timer here? That's my question. Is there a time function in JavaScript or something? Okay, let's get some feedback here. We'll ask that question. Say, adding navigate to the login page, but I added a string to the message and want to maybe have like a 3-second timer. How can you make a timer in JS, or a delay, basically? Here we go. Let's figure this out. Let's see if anyone knows in chat here first. Where is the line that makes the pass not hidden? That makes the password not hidden? It's just in the state variable here, show password. And then it's just if show password equals to a certain, is true or not, then you display a certain text here. It's just a ternary statement here. So show password confirmation true, then hide. If it's false, then show, or whatever, or vice versa, whatever the logic is. You got to get some kind of linting set up. You should immediately be seeing issues like that in the editor. Issues like what? I'm sorry? We're just raw dogging here. Raw dogging errors. Hey, what's up, Digital? What's going on? This is Poly World. It's a cool app we've been building for prediction market data. Set timeout. You have a broken line. Okay, so message plus backslash and page will redirect to login. For the delay, JavaScript has set timeout, which runs a function after a given number of milliseconds. Okay, you were right, Tyler. Good job, dude. Set timeout, which we can call. And then how do you do this? So you call set timeout, and then you do this. Can someone tell me what this is? Like, what is going on here? Like, what when people do this? Is this like just calling like a function on the fly, like a lambda? Or what is this? Oh, it's setting timeout. It's taking in where to go after how many seconds. Yeah, I don't. JavaScript is strange to me. Strange magic. We should listen to that song. I wish copyright wasn't a thing so we could just jam to some songs. No, so it's you call the navigate object here, React, thing, and then you, after 3,000 milliseconds. Set timeout takes two arguments, a function to run and how many milliseconds to wait. Okay, so the first argument, that's just a like on the fly, like lambda function. Like when this is hit, you run this navigate, a function to just call navigate or something like that. If the component unmounts before the 3 second is up, user navigates away manually. You can get a React warning about updating state on an unmounted component. For now, it's fine, but the clean solution is to clear the timeout on unmount using useEffect with the cleanup function. How would that work? Okay, so if someone navigates away before the timer is done, we have this kind of state it's kind of in limbo. It hasn't been finalized or something. So if the component unmounts before the 3 seconds is up, the user navigates away manually. You can get a react warning about updating state on unmounting component. For now, it's fine, but the clean solution is to clear the timeout on unmount using use effect. So what does that do? I am pretty bad at use effect. Let's see here. Use effect with a cleanup function looks like this, where you have use effect, call some on the fly function. We have a timer, we set timeout, navigate to login, and we return clear timeout. Oh, so it's just like a wrapper function. Use effect runs after render. The function you pass it can optimally return a cleanup function. That return function runs when the component is destroyed or before the effect runs again. In plain English, message gets set, use effect sees message changed, starts a 3-second timer. If the user navigates away before the 3 seconds, React destroys the component, cleanup runs, timer gets canceled. If the user stays, 3-second passes, navigates to login. Interesting. Okay. So we would do some. Now, do you do this? Inside of here? Now, where would this go in my project? It goes inside your component alongside with other hooks at the top layer. Same place your use state declarations go. The dependency message only means it only fires when message changes, which is exactly when you want to redirect a timer to start. Okay, so we would have a use effect out front here. And what this would do, this would call our set timeout function. Right, set timeout function here. And log in and navigate. But we would capture that in a variable. We have const timer is this variable. We then return if you don't navigate, right, you would return the cleanup function. So you do something like this. And then we have a clear timeout here, given the timer. Now we have to write this. So this effect takes place whenever this variable is changed message. So we probably should have like a if not message. Then we would like just return. So else we set up a const timer, we would log in, If we navigate to login, cool. If it doesn't, the effect of this happens for this message gets to clear the timer. Now, would we have a function of clear timeout, which would just set timeout to something like, or is clear timeout a function already in JavaScript? Oh, it is. Okay. I thought we had to write that. Okay, no. So now we have this effect happening whenever our message gets changed here. Kind of like a side effect that takes place. Let's get caught up on some chats. LOL, I had to fix a bunch of bugs at work with that. Tyler knows his timeout. Wiz Lord says, question, why don't you vibe code the app all the way? Same at the same time reading the code. Have you ever like read a book and then forgotten what the book was about after you read it? Now, have you ever read a, let's say, like something really boring, like, I don't know, a thesaurus, like, I don't know, one of those big Oxford books back in the library that you'd open up as a kid out of curiosity and try to read? Like, no, it just, think about it like this. Maybe this is a bad analogy. It's a bad analogy, but that's all I got. You know English, but still Shakespeare is pretty hard to understand and read and interpret from like just a everyday English speaker maybe. And if I were to read a page of Shakespeare, I'd probably need to take a stab at it 2 or 3 times. This is a bad analogy, but anywho, I I think much more comes down to like personal satisfaction. Like, I don't know how people are claiming like I built this. Like, I built this. It's like, no, like, you didn't build anything. Like, you just asked someone to build something for you. You just managed a builder. Like, you're just a manager. Like, I want to be a builder. Like, I like building, you know. I like knowing, like, I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it bad to claim like, "Oh, I built this," when you actually didn't write anything? Like, what's the English like the claim to ownership? Like, this is where my prediction earlier. I don't know if we talked about this, but I was talking to my girlfriend. I said I think that if you want to make real money in the next 10 years, go into copyright law for artificial intelligence. That's going to be a heyday of money to be made because those lawyers are going to be busy for the next 10 to 15 years as this all unfolds and these laws start to be composed. You know, though you want to make some money, go to copyright law for specializing in artificial intelligence as this is starting to develop. That's the field you want to go into. Um, why are you using set timeout? I wanted to set a timer of 3 seconds before it gets redirected to the page. Um, Something like that. Now maybe we'll also display like 3, 2, 1. Um, and maybe we'll do that as well. Okay, so let's try this. I think we're getting to a point where we might be able to try this. Let's catch up on chats though. Watching your content to motivate myself as I'm learning Python basics. I want to be a programmer. Just I do feel weird. Okay, let me preface this. My goal here with these streams is to learn myself. I'm really not here to teach. I don't have a CS degree. I don't really know much about low-level computers. I'm trying my best to learn more every single day, as I do have a curiosity and a passion to learn more. We've been learning C. I really want to learn more about hardware and networks. But If you happen to learn something alongside of me, that's great. But take with what I'm doing with a grain of salt here because I'm just trying my best to figure things out. So if you're kind of just, I will preface that. I like to preface that because you guys should be vetting for people that are experienced in this thing and have the right answers. As I'm just kind of figuring things out myself and trial and error and coming up with what I can, and learning just to the best of my ability. So if you happen to learn with me, then that's great. But it might not be the correct approach because I don't even know what's the correct approach. Um, Hey bro, would you learn the basics like HTML, CSS, and JS? I do not know the basics of JS. It's pretty abstracted. I know the basics of how to implement some basic JS into React here, but if you ask me some basic JavaScript questions or to convert my Python code into JavaScript, I probably could not. Um, but I did a big chunk of the Odin project online. I did stop before I got to the JavaScript portion as I started to build things. I got it. I have that problem as I get enough tools to where I can kind of build some stuff, and then I stop with the course. Use effects runs of every render. So if you set a timeout in use of effect, you're essentially triggering a render while the client doing so. Okay. Oh, got you. It triggers a render of the page without the client actually doing it. Um, Someone's outside screaming, some kid. Just not everything already then. Vibe exactly already learned better. People talk. Vibe coding is the topic people want to talk about. Oh, Slow's here. He's gonna get pissed. I think if more than 50% of the code comes from AI, it's no longer your code. You Thomas Edison did. It's a fair take. You solve a really hard math problem, you just throw it in a calculator. Okay, cool. I got 27 people in here. I'm glad everybody's enjoying the stream. We hit over 5,000 subs. We've been climbing actually. We're 5.1 already. That's crazy. One day. Okay. I think we're ready to test this. Let's just make sure. I think we're ready to test though. We just don't have the email sending with resend. Okay, so, but we can test. Okay, let's try it. We're going to log in. We're going to register. Test@gmail.com. Say password. Oh, I think our backend is offline. uh, okay. There we go. We are logged in here. Let's go log out. Let's go log in. Forgot password. Email test@gmail.com. Send reset link. Okay. Let's go here. Let's go select um, all from reset tokens where email equals to test@gmail.com. We're going to select the token, not all. We can just take the token. Dang it. User ID. I'm gonna have to do a join? No. Crap. Okay, select um, user, select ID from users where email is equal to test@gmail.com. And then we're going to take this, which is the the ID of the user, and we're going to feed this into our select token from reset tokens where ID or user ID equals to this. Dang it. Oh, I gotta go. Oh, let's go home. Select. Okay, there's our token. Let's grab this boy. Let's go. Reset password. Oh, we need the token. Shoot. No. Um. Uh. This reset token is really long. They don't want to type that. Did they just click on a link with the reset token in the URL and then pull the token out? Let's ask. I'm testing the flow right now. I created a new user. I logged out. I went to the login page. I pressed forgot password. I sent myself a token. I used a select statement to get the token from reset tokens where my user ID is equal to the user's email, the ID that the user has, and I got the reset token out. But the thing is theoretically, the link that resend would send in the email would take you to the reset password page with the token pre-filled, right? Pre-known, or right? It was equal to that. That's the part I don't have right now. Exactly right. The email link would look like this. Okay. And reset password page would read it automatically from the URL instead of requiring it manual input. Okay, so let's see here. So React Router DOM has used search params that we can use. Inside component. So we can use this with search params, use search, yeah. Right, which equals to just a blank function call, no default inside. Okay, and then we would set const reset token is equal to search params. Now would we index this like a dictionary and ask for No, you can use a get on it. Okay. Get the token out of the, or it's an empty string. So we would take this, we would go to reset password slash question mark token equal to, and then we put our token here, and then we would run this. Okay. Oh, come on. Come on! New password. New password. Show. Okay. Reset. No way, come on. Okay. Here we go. This is crazy. Okay. Test@gmail.com. New password. Oh, let's go. Woo. That's what I'm talking about. Reset password complete. Woo! After 25 plus years coding, I like being the manager. That's fair enough. 25 years is you put in your time there, channel. Hey Yash, how's it going? Hello, bro. I think you should make a Discord server where you can connect with your subscribers and also can make some projects together. Yeah, dude, I have it linked down below, bro. If you want a roadmap of kind of all of the resources I've used for learning, kind of all the books I've used, I put them all on my personal notes, links to all my Git projects, other people's projects, community resources, and whatnot. I have a free Discord link down below with all of my stuff. So appreciate you guys being there. I don't charge for anything, so all I really ask is if you could just subscribe and follow along, and we can connect and follow me, follow me on LinkedIn. We can connect there. But yeah, we made a whole whopping $200 on YouTube over these past 2 years. So just grinding out of the love of it, man. Okay, so we have successfully implemented password reset. Boom. Everything worked and was able to reset the password. Okay, so let me try that again. Let's log out, log in, forgot password, test@gmail.com. If that email exists, you'll receive a reset token and a link to reset your password. Okay, let's go to here. There's our token. We're going to go to reset password. Is it slash? Yeah. Question mark token equals to this. Ooh. Okay. Now, what I want to do is I think I'm going to extend the time to maybe 6,000 seconds or 5 seconds. Password. Let's change it back to password. Password reset page will redirect it to login. It doesn't do a \n. So passage. Page will redirect to login. Because right now it's saying password reset. Page will redirect to login. So we'd have to do like that in order to really. Now we should probably make it so that the user cannot reset their password to their current password, like Mahan suggested to us. So let's do reset password for token equal to this. And let's really make this dramatic so I have time to see it. Let's make it 15 seconds. New password. Password reset, page will redirect to login. I'll say redirecting to login page. This is probably a pretty crappy way of doing this, but that's all I have the energy for right now. And then test@gmail.com. New password. Let's go. All right. Let's get some caught up on some chats. Bro's about to hit the dopamine. Tailwind for this guy. This is Tailwind and React. Okay, cool. Well, that's pretty neat. I have this thing on here, min height 400 pixels. Homepage. Why is this giving me an error here? What's on that? Oh, it's a suggestion. Okay. That's why I had that squiggly. Okay, let's go ahead and push this up. Making work we go. All right, let's get get commit -m add or finalized, or no, we not finalized. We add reset password page and API functions. Okay, so the only thing we have to do now is just implement the resend email, and I'll just probably do that offline because I don't want to accidentally, leak my environment variables or anything. I'll probably just, it's pretty easy. I looked it up. You just have to, I already installed resend. All you do is just get a code, add it to your environment, you import it in as a variable, and then you just set up the email here, right? You just kind of set up a kind of a credential form, and then a template email, and then it just sends it with a function. Basically, it's really easy. You just import the resend and the function to do it, and then you just call the function and it sends the email accordingly. So we'll just implement that right there. And then if we want to hash the reset token, we can as well here eventually. But this takes us to the point in the project where we need to finalize the homepage, and then I think we can launch the actual free product. Woo! Kind of crazy. It's coming a long way. So we have a leaderboard, right? Which is supposed to, when we put this on a cron job on our server and buy the server, hopefully we'll have it run at like 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. to generate data. And this will be the free leaderboard for anybody to access. And then we'll also need to implement the streak tracker to these leaders as well if they have a streak on here. Um, and then what we'll do is paid users eventually. What we'll do is we'll launch the product for just as the leaderboard. That's the only thing we offer for everybody. And then we'll eventually, shortly after that, roll out the better search so that people that are already signed up can have the option to do the better search and, upgrade their account, I guess. Feels so stupid doing that, but I don't know. I usually like doing things for free, but, we don't want to be a biologist all the time. We want to code more. We've got to find a way to code more. So this might be it, maybe. We got to live and code. So the better search then will be a similar makeup to the leaderboard functionality, but it'll just be an address search for the user to search users independently rather than just being only on the leaderboards. So they can search any address wallet on Polymarket and generate this snapshot. And then the snapshot will save to that user's account, and they can have so many snapshots saved before old ones get overwritten or something, depending on their account. And then I think we'll fine tune that feature. That'll be the first kind of feature for the paid users, will be the custom search. And the custom search, right, the leaderboard only goes back 30 days of closed positions because it just was too computationally expensive for the API calls and took too much time in that bottleneck. And so what we could, when we're doing a mass amount of users, right? But what we could do is for a single person is we could extend this to 60, 90, maybe 180 days in the past, and they could get a wider snapshot for paid users. And then the second feature we'll add for paid users will be that they can add wallet addresses to a watch list, which will then be swept nightly, and give them kind of their own little chart whatever. So that's kind of the plan for the first couple of phases of the project. Let me know what you guys think about those ideas. Let me know what you guys think about those ideas, and if you guys have any suggestions, questions, concerns, comments, I'm all ears. I'm just trying to learn and have fun, and build something cool and see if we can do something for real this time around. We built a couple of the dummy projects, SpectroSim, ChromaPlot, published those as full stack projects, but they were just kind of more simulations for Bro, who took my idea? Who took my idea? 2018? No! It's okay. Here's our project. We'll let that load in the background. This is on render.com,
guy,
so
this is
so slow to spin up. But this is one of our first projects we built when we were getting into building like real full stack projects and taking our Python further in doing backend stuff. And we were learning React for the first time, or beginner React stuff. So this will okay, now it's searching. Sorry. So we'll let this search. It just takes forever because this render.com is so slow. But we also have a ChromaPlot too. This one's hosted on Render completely, so it just sucks. Ugh. Let's see this one. See, it takes forever, guys. These projects. These are just dummy little pet projects, though. We recreated basically our general chemistry laboratories from undergrad, and implement them into code here and made little projects. Chroma and SpectroSim. But this is definitely our kind of our best project so far in terms of something that's actually kind of feasible for real world use. Come on. Come on. Come on. So slow. It's just the API call. It's not even my backend. Like it's just render.com spin up time. Like you'll see the repeated searches are fast, but the first one is so bad. How do they even offer this as like a free tier? This isn't even like a product. This is like unusable for a free tier. This doesn't even make me want to upgrade. This makes me want to just like not use render ever again. Period. Let's see if this one at least loaded. Oh, this one did. So you can see we've been upgrading. This was our first, like, just HTML, CSS, just, raw. And we upgraded a little bit here. Oh my gosh, really? This is so bad. No way, dude. There it is. 20 hours later, dude. All right, so you get like the data on aspirin pulled from PubChem, and then you can generate its spectral plot right here, right? And then kind of zoom in using Plotly. So pretty cool. You can do like other compounds, caffeine. See, that's fast. It was fast, but it was just the first load was bad. Caffeine here. See, this is a pretty cool project as well, in my opinion. Um, Methylene blue. Oh, no methylene blue. Stuff like that. This one is pretty cool. We'll do compound 1. We'll give it an RF factor of 0.4. Compound 2. We'll give an RF factor of 0.2. Compound 3. We'll give an RF factor, let's say 0.87. Compound 4. We'll give an RF factor of 0.31. And compound 5, we'll give an RF factor of like 0.76. And we can run this simulation. This is going to take forever to run too, because render. But this will load a GIF that simulates liquid absorption through the mobile phase in a paper medium of chromatography, right? So this paper medium is polarized, and these compounds are being drug up through the paper, via this solvent, and the interactions with the polarity of the compound and the medium cause give you this retention factor. Now we are kind of back calculating it to give it the retention factor and run the simulation to show what the actual experiment would look like in theory. So, when you're an undergraduate chemist, you would, have an unknown compound, and you would run this against knowns and identify the unknown based upon the, calculated retention factor. If it was similar within certain degrees or factor, right? So, anyways, this will load here too, but we're getting off top. There it goes. See, here goes the solvent, and there goes the compounds. So if you're like an educational teacher, I think it'd be pretty cool to show your students these types of projects, and use these sites to show your students, what it would look like in the lab. But yeah, we got these sites currently going right now. Yeah, Polyworld is what we're coding right now. So this one's pretty cool as well. Okay. Um, all right, we are at a point here where we have um, Can you please show how to connect Python and React? Yeah, so I'm not actually like connecting the two directly in terms of like sending my Python code up to my React page. Like I'm not, and we're not doing like Jinja syntax here, using Python to write front end code. We're just using um, API endpoints and calling JavaScript functions to ping those API endpoints where our Python code would live on a server. So think about your Python as living on a computer somewhere that's running and it's waiting for like it has a couple of these like let's say doors or windows or whatever that people can come knock on to get information, right? And you kind of or whatever. Like you can come drive through the drive-through in and out of the server and get a meal or whatever. So our Python lives inside of this server and it's running and it's doing whatever, it's doing our cron jobs that we have scheduled and it's just waiting for, incoming requests to these API endpoints. Now, when someone comes in to the Polyworld front end page, polyworld.app, they interact with buttons and with whatever and send those requests to the server via JavaScript fetch, and those requests will go to the server, ask for something from the Python, and then the Python will give it back. So there isn't really like, it's not like communicating via like the code is being inserted into JavaScript and JavaScript is being intertwined into Python. That was kind of a misconception I also had at the beginning of when I was learning this, is that I thought like, okay, how am I supposed to write Python into JavaScript and like what is going on here? But it's really just this communication between these kind of endpoints that are found at these servers, right? And you're just structuring a beautification ways for people to interact with these API endpoints. That's why they're so popular now, is because that's what everything is using to kind of get information. Um, in terms of modern like applications and stuff. Now there's all sorts of different API endpoints. There's like open public ones where you can get the data yourself and not actually have to interact with the API. Those are like REST APIs, or interact with the front end. It's just like calling it with functions with like curl or whatever, or with request if you're using Python. But that's kind of the general go, is that we have a Python backend here with API, and we have routes here, auth and leaders, and inside of these, these files are various are various endpoints, right? And these endpoints have pydantic models in them, which are just ways to validate and filter user data easier than having to write a bunch of logical expressions myself to oh, this is beyond the character limit for a password or for an email. This isn't a valid email, so I don't want to save it in my. So we do use some abstracted models or libraries right now to do that for us, because that's we have those things. There's no point in rewriting the wheel on those. It's good to learn them and know about them and use them. But we have these endpoints, right? Like login here, which is supposed to be, the data is supposed to come in the form of a user login. So the JSON that comes in, and it comes in as data, gets filtered by Pydantic into this user login model, right? User login inherits from our user base model, which just takes in an email, which is an email stir, Pydantic kind of filtering validator object, which makes sure that whatever the email the person enters into this field is is valid under that logic. And then the user login obviously inherits from that and also attaches on a password, because to log in you need an email and a password. And so that's what's going on there. Now what's going on here is that we're just within the current state of our app lives an ongoing database instance. Now I'm not sure if this is the most modern way of doing, or the best way of doing this. I'm trying to figure that out, but within the state of the app itself, using Fast API, right, our backend, we have a live instance of our database going that can be shared across all of our requests and response that come in. And so we can access that database here by calling it out into its own variable. We can run a database function and get user info for authentication, right? We can check those and raise various exceptions if it doesn't match our criteria. We create a payload um, to then create an access token, right? And this was all part of the user auth stream that we did, where we learned all about this, where you create an access token and then set a cookie, right? You can think of a cookie as like a wristband to a nightclub, where it's an 18 plus nightclub, but only people 21 plus can buy drinks, right? You get a wristband if you can buy drinks, and so you can log in, but certain cookies, right, give you access to various, um, you know, like features with the access token. So you can take this cookie with you page to page, and it'll verify your access token to that page, and you can access protected routes is what I'm trying to get to. Um, like so like if that makes any sense. Now these protected routes come in form of these dependencies. Now these dependencies, from my understanding, and I'm still a little bit noobish on this, I'm trying to understand these, right, is that it depends on if you have the proper cookie in place, right, which contains that access token, right. These cookies are created just like in the user's session, and that one of the cookie happens to contain a validation for with you can access certain pages via the paid features or the free features, and these uh, dependency functions depend upon those certain cookies or whatever. So that's kind of how I interpret that to the best of my ability here. But um anywho, with that being said, let's go ahead and dive back into our back end here. Now that we've got the front end wired up, I'll do the resend implementation offline so I don't have to expose the NV during this time and hide screen and whatever. But what we'll do, sorry, I got my ears itching, my like I'm got allergies. What we'll do is we're gonna work on implementing the function for getting users and stuff, or for better search. Okay, better search. We want to go to our services, Polyworld services. This is build, no, so poly user services. This is build user. So this builds a poly user, right? And returns that model back to us. So given a certain address, which is good. So then what we do is in our Polyworld, which is up here, we build users by having a list of addresses. And then those save into here. Okay.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Hey guys, do you have any advice or if I also want to start a channel like this? Yeah, I guess I can say something. I will say, I've been doing this for a year and a half, almost 2 years now. I didn't start gaining any subscribers really until after 3 months of doing it alone by myself. So you have to go in with that mindset and that expectation. I'm not using clickbaity titles. I don't mislead. I am very honest with what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. It's not the most riveting and entertaining stuff, so it's a fairly niche audience. So don't expect to blast off. In terms of, you know, it's mainly for studying, right? Yeah, we can zoom in a little. It's kind of okay. So what we're gonna do is we basically just need to feed an address into our polywhirl function. But right now, our polywhirl in build users has a save phase, which is saving into save user here. Now save user is calling insert poly user into leaders here. Now maybe I should add a flag onto here. This takes in a poly user model to save, a poly base, and how we're going to save it. Right? A timestamp to save, a run ID, a take snapshot, and a it's just getting a little bit too robust. I think maybe we should just separate it. This should say save leader, right? And then in polywhirl we have save leader here. Right? Now that'll save the leader. Now what I think I'm going to do is we're going to add a flag onto build users. Yeah, this is going to have a I'm trying to think. I know this might be annoying, but I'm trying to think of like the best path to go, so I don't have to like refactor later on. Trying to be a little bit strategic about it, right? We have save leader here. We could create a flag here for okay. What do we want? Where our save path? Are we saving into leader, or are we saving into um, are we saving into just generic um, better snapshots, like better snaps? So I guess this will be a save, which is a string. Right. We'll say, before we even run this function, we say if save not in this, we'll say leaders or betters. We're going to raise a value error saying polywhirl error invalid save parameter destination parameter. Okay. Now what we're going to do is in our save phase, if save equals to leaders, we're going to save leader. Elif save equals to betters, we're going to save better given the user the database, the timestamp, the run ID. Just get a run ID. Yeah, I'll take a run ID. Take snapshot equals to true. This shouldn't ever happen, but we shouldn't ever hit this value error because it should have already cleared out the top, but so then we're gonna bring in a save better function here that we're gonna write in our database. So this is poly user services, which is save leader. I guess it's here. So it technically applies to a poly user. Because a poly user is a poly market user. So that's why we have these things happen here. Save better. Basically the same kind of framework here, right? But this is better given all of this stuff. And we're going to go say insert poly user to betters. And now we're going to go to our poly base. And we have insert poly user to leaders here. Maybe we'll just say insert poly user to. We'll add a parameter on here called to, which is a stir. We'll say if to not in, right? This can go to leaders or this can go to betters. Then we're going to raise a value error saying polybase error invalid better insertion poly user insert path. Okay. So that'll handle that. Now what we can do is let's just 2 equals to 2 dot strip, and let's also dot lower here, just force it. And then what we can say is instead of this, insert into %s here. values right? So this is insert into the table we want. On conflict of address, do update set, exclude and cannot in columns address and joined. So insert into this. If now the value, so we need to first put in, this is going to be values dot append whatever this is here. Now we're going to values is equal to a list of whatever is the to value first. So that'll execute the query and insert that one in there first. And then we take snapshot and we need to add a to field here. Just stir. We say if to, we'll just copy kind of this logic here. No, we shouldn't be copying, but we can kind of come back through and clean things up. So we'll say this, and then we want to take a user snapshot and go to the, but this is going to be leader snaps, and this is going to be better snaps. Right? And then user snapshot run ID, timestamp, column values, insert into here, %s values. Basically, you do a similar thing here where this is values.append this list. And then we need to have the values be out front with equal to whatever the to is first here. So we're going to insert into that table dynamically. Cool. So then if we just go to our schema, I think all we need to do is we have leader fields. We have leader fields, and we have leader snaps fields, right? And so these are going to be very similar, or pretty much one-to-one to better fields and better snaps fields, right? And so if we shut down our backend, restart it, we should be able to say select all from betters. Betters doesn't exist. drop table better. Okay, yeah, that's right. It doesn't exist because we haven't set it up in our poly base setup functions. So we need basically we're going to copy these two tables down, set up betters table, create table betters, and then set up better snaps. And this is going to be better fields. This would be better snaps fields. Now if we restart our database, and query betters does not exist. Oh, we need to add it to our setup function. Create table, betters table. Okay. Now let's try that one more time. One more time. One more time. Now we want to go here. Boom. Now better snaps. Nice. Okay. Now we have those two tables created. And then what we need to do in our testing function here is build users. Yeah, build leaderboards, build users. We want to insert poly user 2. So we're taking this function now. So let's go to poly world services. Insert poly user 2 to and this is to betters. No. Why don't you use the same table and have leaderboards do sorted? I don't really want it's my leaders table, so it's kind of distinguished. And then these are betters, like these are just like people that were searched. Um, two. say insert poly user. That's a good call. We'll just say insert poly user. Okay, and then we can just go to I don't want to make that a tuple. Okay. Nice. So now what we can do, right, our polyworld services are now save leader, save better. So that's the only thing we had to change cascading downwards. So now this is saving to our betters table rather than our leaders table. So polywhirl will take in leaders or betters for what are these addresses? Are these leaders or these just betters? If they're leaders, we save to the leader table. We save better here. And then these insert poly user into the appropriate place. Okay, I think it's fine. I think it's I think everything's wired up. Now we just need to test it by running a custom search via this. So let's just rename this function. This is going to be leaderboard builder. And then I guess let's just make a new file here. This will be called single better builder. And then I guess we can just kind of check this code here. So we're not going to build leaderboards. We're going to build a user given a certain address. So we'll go and find a polyworld, polymarket address. We'll take this guy's. So we're going to save into sorry, I'm blanking. I've been coding too long here. Betters. So this will build users and save into betters, which will save better, which inserts poly user into better, inserts poly user into the betters via inserting into here, executing and taking a snapshot of the better. heck's going on? Why is it doing that? Okay, that was fast. Dang it. Okay, so we're getting error here. Our list is out of range on cursor execute values for insert poly user. Okay, let me take my function here. Let's say I am trying to make this more dynamic for accommodating the multiple table routes to save for reuse. Let's see here. Good instinct to make it reusable. That's a SQL injection risk. You're passing table name as a parameter. It's for values not identifiers like table name, site copy, quote string. Okay, whitelist validation. Use it as an f string directly. Since 2 is validated against before reaching the f string, this is safe. Okay. So we're just gonna pass literally here. We have it validated, so we don't have an injection, the 2 value. I guess we could put table here. And then we don't need that. Okay, let's try it now. Before going further, what are you calling the 2 table pairs? Okay, so then single better. Chunk size 1 processed. Oh, so an error here. Okay, now let's try a single better builder. Take user snapshot missing 1 required parameter, positional argument, run ID. So this goes to build user, gets the next run ID saves. Really? Poly user model. Polybase, timestamp, run ID, take snapshot. Why do I have to pass this like that? Why would it not just fill in automatically? Oh, maybe that wasn't the right spot. Yeah, it wasn't the right spot because I don't have it here actually. This is take self.take user snapshot. Here. Bah, 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 bah. Yeah, there we go. Invalid poly user insert table path. Like take user snapshot. Save better. So insert poly user is calling take user snapshot here. What was our error? Invalid poly user insert path on polybase. Here. Oh. We can do this. We can take a slice up to the negative first and then go concatenate on here a plus underscore snaps. I think that'll fix that. Yes! Come on! Now we go select all from betters. There's a better. We got a better, baby. We got a better. Okay, now we're gonna go. Let's run. It's Q. Sorry. Select all from. Let's select. Total realized P&L. Select total realized P&L from better snaps where so we'll just say this: select all from betters join. Select all from betters join better snaps on betters dot address is equal to better snaps dot address and oh, I suck at the joins. I suck at the joins. Let me get caught up on some chats here. Sorry, guys. Um, you know UV? No, I don't. My boy Corey Schaefer though, he teaches some stuff about UV. I probably should watch his videos. Just start, man. That's what I did. I didn't even think about it. Just grab my 10-year-old Logitech webcam, install the OBS, and start recording a session. Literally, yeah, that's all you have to do. Just start recording. Um, uh, I think Shalba was saying the table columns seem very similar. You could put one table with an identifier column, but that requires rework. It wouldn't require too much rework. Maybe we could refactor it to that with an identifier as like a leader or not. But yeah, either or. What do you guys think? Two separate tables with similar field names, or a distinct or a joined column, joined table with an indicator for a leader versus better. I kind of like it being distinct. You forgot to replace one more two. Hopefully I got it. Low-key, I had issue at joins too. Yeah, joins are bad for me. So we want to do this. Select all from betters. Join better snaps on betters.address equals to better snaps.address. Is this not what I did? Select all from betters, join better snaps on betters.address. That's literally what I did. Now, can we... How do you pretty print? How do you pretty print these? I forgot. This /x. \x. Nice. So that is dodge the bullets, snapshot, singular. So it has an appearance of 0, right? I wonder what's going on. And has a run ID of 5. This is increments, run IDs. Oh, this is getting the max run ID from... Right, this is getting next run ID via the leader snaps table. Right. So that's why it's incrementing that for that guy. So let's say get next run ID from what table? Well, the thing is does our better search schema, does it even need a run ID? Because I think there's more things we need. Because we need the better search needs a primary key or a foreign key of the user's ID that sent the call. Let's make sure that this one still works though, right? This one should still work appropriately. Okay. Polyworld.build users. It's missing one. Argument in our function call. Or leaderboard builder. Which takes in a safe path. Okay, that's running now. Okay, that should work because our processes are good now. Okay, I think I'm gonna call it here. Kind of losing brain power for tonight, you guys. We've been going for almost 3 hours. Holy crap! We did a lot today. Started to work on our. We refactored our Polywhirl object to incorporate saving to either to any table. So we can save a user to any table. We might need to rethink that because these aren't going to have the same fields actually. So before I get too deep into this, I probably would want to rethink the schema of exactly what our better searching is needing and talk that through. And then figure out, okay, do we want to split this up, build users up into separate function for build leaders, or and then build betters or whatnot, or and see how we do that. But for those that are new here, I'll quickly show you guys, I guess, the project. I'll give you a quick demo here. Um, so here's our project, Polywhirl. We also built today, we finalized the forgot password and reset password pages. So if you log in, you can click forgot password, you can enter your email. I need to implement the resend, but it'll save a reset token into our database. You take that reset token and go to the URL path for reset password with the token in the headers here. So for reset password with like the token here, right? Um, right. If you put the token in the header and then reset your password, it would reset the password, and then you could log in again automatically. But what this is a currently a set leaderboard of aggregated statistics for Polymarket leaders. We currently track appearances across our leaderboard, and then you can click on the users and get broken down statistics across all of their open positions and 30 of their past 30 days of closed positions. We're implementing right now, trying to use the feature we have here and refactor it to do a singular search for a better for our paid users to use. So they can search up any address for not only 30 days in the past for closed positions, but 60, 90, 180, and so on and so forth. And so, yeah, anyways, pretty cool project we got going on so far right now. Let me know what you guys think and have any suggestions or comments. Let me know in the Discord link down below if you guys want access to all my resources that I use for free. I have just a compilation in my Discord. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see me. I stream pretty much almost every single day, building, reading, coding, and trying my best to learn computer science from scratch on my own. We need to continue on with our C programming and modern approach reading, and do that. But I've been having a lot of fun building this project as of the moment, so I'm kind of continuing on with it right now. How are you getting the data from different users? We're just calling the Polymarket APIs and then we are looping over the data that we're getting and computing statistics off of that data through some various functions that I created and things like that, and then displaying it. So anyways, thanks so much for being here, everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We got 33 people in here. If you guys could leave a like and a sub before you go. It seems like everybody is pretty likes the full stack content. It definitely is the most popular stuff on my channel so far. We have 1,000 views on this stream alone just tonight in 3 hours. So 300 views an hour, about 333. That's a pretty good rate in my opinion. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, and we'll continue on with the project, or maybe do some C programming depending on whatever we're feeling. But yeah, very successful day today where we finished forgot password and reset password, and then started implementing the better search on the back end. So see you guys tomorrow.